What's up? What's up? What's up? Good evening. It's Maisha Edmond, licensed cosmetologist in the state of New York. I am also the creator and founder of Trichology 911 University. I believe we are trademarked, copywritten, all that other stuff. I'm super excited about tonight. This is our second interview. This interview right here, like I said in the post, if you really want to be encouraged about doing trichology anyway and doing it from the standpoint of it's not traditional, this is absolutely the place for you to be. So without further ado, let us bring on our special guest, Liada A. Williams.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm not going to give you the answer I always give you, but I'm still.
I know.
I'm still.
Here we are.
Yes. Okay. Yes. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Like anytime I talk about trichology and a person doing well with what they have, like you are absolutely the epitome of that. Mm-hmm. And so I thought that other people should hear and see like what you can do with what you have. And so I know you from the Bronx.
That's where I'm from.
She's from the Bronx, y'all. She's from the Bronx. Oh, Lord. She thinks she's better than us. She's from the Bronx.
Stop it.
Down to be exact. And she is a mommy of one.
I am.
I call her Bert, but they don't want to go with Bert.
Family name. That's the family name.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And the wife of one husband, we love him.
Yes,
and so we are just so excited about Liada. She is more than just a trichologist, but when she stepped into the role of trichologist, she literally dominated in the area that she was in. So it was more so like, let me use what I have. Let me use this. Let me stay in my lane, create a lane. When I always say, work your corner, she found her corner and she worked it and she is working it. And she found a really, really successful space in it. So I'm going to move out the way and I'm going to ask you to give us a little intro. Just tell us about yourself. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So good evening, everyone. My name is Liada. Like Maisha said, I'm from the Bronx, but I have created my own business in trichology. My business is called Main Theory. So I've taken it beyond trichology, and I've also create custom wigs, and I consult other businesses on other beauty and lifestyle businesses as well. When Maisha says I found my corner, I literally found the corner of my couch and I did trichology from there. Since I've been in trichology, I've never touched a head. It's more about using my mind more so, doing consultations, shipping out products, creating wigs from my clients, things of that nature. So I literally just found a lane that I knew that I can thrive in, especially because I still work my 9 to 5 and I didn't want to lose my passion. I had to find a way to do both.
Wow. So I think that that's like one of the craziest things, that when I explain to people how you did trichology from your couch and dominated and is still dominating, I think that's like one of the things that people can't wrap their minds around. And we always talk about the importance of knowing the why, right? Mm-hmm. Knowing when you study, right? It's not always what you can touch. I remember I was speaking to one girl and I was saying, hey, I'm a trichologist and the, it's the pandemic or whatever, but I just wanted to get some tips from her. And she was convinced. She said, well, if you can't see or touch the client, you can't do anything for them. And I knew right then that she was wrong. Right. And so to get the opportunity to work with you and see you implement those things, knowing what questions to ask, knowing all the clues and bringing them together. What do you say about that part?
Yeah, so I think for anyone that says that, me personally, I'm going to say you're absolutely crazy, because you can do it, right? It's been done. My clients have gotten results. So it's not like, I'm just throwing everything at them, giving them a whole bunch of words and leaving them to figure it out. But really, trichology, when I think about it, I really think about how everything has like characteristics, right? And you can sit there and you can listen to your clients and you can understand like what they're going through, listen to what they're experiencing when they wash their hair, when they comb their hair, and you can start to narrow things down. So I think for anyone that's doing trichology, the importance is studying, right? Like, and once you study, you're going to know your stuff. When I studied trichology, we were in the middle of a pandemic. So my clinicals were not in person. They were online. So what we really had to ask those questions. And when you ask more questions and you listen to your clients are going to go on and they're going to talk and they're going to tell you everything. And then you can piece that together. But that doesn't happen if you don't take your niche very seriously. So I say, let the haters hate. We can do it. We can do it. And we've been doing it and we're getting people results, and that's it.
I mean, really, because even when you look at the importance of having a virtual trichology practice, and I remember when the pandemic like first hit and we knew what it was, and it was like New York shut down and like everything shut down. Like you literally had to like have a note from wherever, like, are you an essential worker? Yeah. And I was like, one of the things that I would say, if you go back to any videos from 2020, I'm like, listen, this is like a new wave. And I don't believe that it's something that is here to come and go, but it's literally here to stay. And if you would strengthen that arm of your business, meaning the virtual part of it, that digital part of it, you're going to win. And I just want you to tell these people how much you were making a month from the comfort of your couch.
Oh my goodness. So it was so crazy. I think my highest grossing month, and that's like including like my consultations, my profit from the products I was sending out, and like if I had a client that like wanted me to make them a wig, my highest grossing month was about $5,200. So yeah, $5,200. And
from trichology.
From trichology, from the knowledge, from everything that I learned on my couch, I implemented it. And that was my highest grossing month. Yeah.
Wow. And that's so crazy. So that like works out to be like over $1,000 a week. Absolutely. From your couch.
Absolutely.
And and that's when people couldn't go outside for anything.
Right.
So so tell me how you first, I guess, heard of me. Yeah. What made you join classes? Let me know which classes that you were a part of, and then let me know like what was that thing that made you say, you know what, let me connect with Trichology 911.
Yeah. So when you say what classes I was a part of, I literally was a part of every class. Like, even if it didn't have anything to do with me, I wanted to be a part because I wanted to know everything that was going on. And I always say, just because you're not doing something right now doesn't mean that you won't do it in the future. Your notes are always going to be there. So I literally was taking like insurance classes. I took case studies before I even did case studies with WTS. Any class that you had, I took. But I think when I found you on Instagram, and it was through hashtags. I think it was like a trichology hashtag, because honestly, I didn't start trichology until the pandemic, because at that time I really had to sit back and say to myself, like, the world is crazy. And we have all this time at home, and it's really time for me to tap into what I really wanted to do, what I really had a passion to do. And I say that because through your videos at the time and the conversations we then had, you motivated me to do a whole lot. Things that I didn't even think that I could do. Like, I finished my trichology program in like 9, 10, I don't even know if it was that long, but I was done. I moved up my clinical dates because I was finished. You know, even though I graduated cosmetology school in 2016, like I didn't get my cosmetology license until you started mentoring me and you said, no, you need that. You can't be out here being a fake trichologist, a fake stylist. Like you need that. And I literally remember going upstate 4 hours away to take my state board. So I found you through Instagram, through the hashtag Trichology. And at the time, you were actually shipping out a package that had like a hair max band, some products. And I'm like, wait, she's doing this. We can do this from home. I need in. And ever since then, I really think that you have not been able to get away from me.
You know what's so funny is that, like, you never know what you can do until you get like that little push, you know, and sometimes it won't just come to you, but you'll connect with somebody that says, "Oh yeah, that's easy." Remember, all of 2020 and 2021, trichology is easy. Like, what are you talking about? Like, every single day, trichology is easy. Like, it's easy. You're a sought after trichologist. Like, you get it done. And I'm like, yo, this is what you say because it's easy. And I always say, trichology is a Tiffany's lifestyle, right?
Yes,
Because
it is.
you know I love Tiffany's, right?
Uh-huh.
But because like I said to Sedaria, and I say to any trichologist, like it's a luxury to work with you, to have somebody that will take the time to study what are the side effects, what are these things that we're seeing, what are you saying, and put something together knowing that, listen, if we work it, it's going to work. And so it's just like so exciting. So I know you touched on some things that you have done, but just again, what wins did you receive like once you finished these classes and things like that?
Yeah, so one of the major things that I really like love to like talk about, because we talk about this all the time, like hyping ourselves up and really stepping into our true selves, right? And when I think about the things that I've done, like I've been featured in magazines. I've never thought like I would be featured in magazines. Like I'm on my third one. I'm on like an editorial board for Style Craze. So, you know, that was major to me because I never wanted to be that person that was like front and center because I wasn't comfortable. But after going through the classes, I've learned to like just stand in what I know. Like I know the stuff. Like why am I hiding? And I think that was a major thing for me because I was able to like just step out and say, I'm the professional. I have all this education. I've taken these classes. I'm armed with everything. So now I can go out there and I can do it. But being featured in 3 different magazines was very big for me. Still being able to run this business while I was on maternity leave. I came back and I didn't skip a beat. You know, I wasn't as active on like social media and things like that, but my clients stayed with me. Like even while I was pregnant and I'm in bed, I'm still ordering products for my clients. So to have a business that actually runs itself was a major win for me.
Especially, right, because you really honed in on the mental part of it. I think that a lot of times what we'll do, especially like when you in the beauty industry, you will literally, you know, equate like you really making money or doing work to hard labor. And it doesn't have to be that. Like the fact that you can use your brain and get to, you know, the results that you want and also bring your clients to those results is like huge. And I remember when you first did like that first article and I was like, wow, like that's huge. Like, and that you have something to say. They're asking you about hair loss as it relates to this and that. And that's really big. And also when you said like realizing that you don't have to sit in the background, you know your stuff. And you know it really just shines a light on the importance of studying.
Yes,
You know?
that's major. I think that's what, a lot of people don't realize. Like, yes, you can be in the middle of it, but we've always talked about this. Like, I'm the science girl. Like, I need to know why, right? And when my clients come to me, that's what they want to know too. They want to know why. So knowing my stuff, being able to tell them why this is happening, or why is this drug doing this to their hair, it helps them. And that's the thing. It's like a light bulb goes off. Like, oh my goodness, that's what I was looking for. That's the answer that I needed. So the mental part plays a lot. And I don't think it's just knowing your stuff. It's just believing in yourself too. Because when you learn a new craft, or when you're trying to learn something new, sometimes you second guess yourself.
Yeah.
But there has to come to a point where you're like, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. Right? And you're not going to be the best going into it. I remember my first consultation. I remember literally listening to what the lady was saying and then like repeating it back to her just to make sure I understood it, while I was thinking of another question to ask her. But that was my first consultation. Now I know what I'm saying, and the questions will just flow. So mental plays a lot in it. But if you are going to be that person that just keeps beating yourself up without trying, you're going to fail. But you have to just put yourself out there, give it a shot.
Absolutely. And I remember, because you were in a few rounds of case studies, I remember one of the rounds, I really switched it up and I started, we started reverse engineering.
Yes.
Like, okay, so why would a client say this? Or, why would they say that? Like, what is it? And, just understanding like some key things, to products and all that other stuff. And I'm just so glad that you weren't that kind of person that was tethered to a specific product. Although, like we'll have our favorites, like you were not tethered to it. And so my question is, okay, wait, before I get to that question, I think that you are also a really good example of what I was first teaching when I said, you might come in and think that trichology is this. But after you go through, and you'll go through several rounds, and then you'll shed some stuff, you'll pick some stuff up, and then you'll decide, you know what, I love trichology, but I don't love it like that. I love it like in the science way, or I love it in the cranial prosthetic way, or, and that doesn't take from what you know. But I remember like you bought this microscope, this like crazy good microscope, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and it really opened up like a whole different side of trichology, that said, I don't have to be the typical trichologist. Like, I can scope you, but I also can take your stuff to a microscope and look at you, under that, and I can do all those different things. And so what do you think? Because, okay, now everybody that's watching it is going to watch.
Right.
This is the person, this right here, Leata A. Williams, is the woman who does not deal with you if you have traction alopecia.
I do not.
She don't play that. Tell them why you don't play that, Leata, please.
I don't. Okay. It is so, it's funny now that you say it, but what I've realized with traction alopecia is that sometimes they're just going to keep doing it, right? They're going to keep causing these things upon themselves. They don't want to change. They want to complain, but they don't want to change. And I feel like when you're in this realm, like when you're creating your corner, you have to know what you are going to tolerate and what you're not going to tolerate. And for me, it was the ones that got on the 15-minute consultation and kept saying, I had these braids and then my edges came out. And it was just like, okay, I know where this conversation is going. So then when you start to talk to them within those 15 minutes, they'll keep telling you how they booked this appointment. They want this ponytail and can you do this? And it's just like, that's not what I want to do. And I think I thrive in my business and I enjoy being in my lane because I know what's for me and what's not for me. And
wow.
Traction alopecia ain't for me.
And you know what's so good, because I always ask this question, is like, what are your non-negotiables? Like, what are you not having? Like me, Don't come to me pussing, oozing, and crusting. Right. Like those are not my favorite. Right. Liata don't want no no,
like I don't want no traction alopecia. Like
you irresponsible. Where's your edges? Now you right. keep doing this stuff over and over again. It always made me laugh because it's so funny, and the way, like when you said it, it made me think about how maybe everybody is not like that with traction alopecia, but traction alopecia is such like, especially like in our demographic, is such a cosmetic type of hair loss that is almost like if you have traction alopecia, it's kind of like
right. And this is the thing, like when I think about traction alopecia, I'll have a conversation with someone and I'll see, like, I'll gauge the conversation and see where it's going. But a lot of the times they want to cover that up, right? And then you want to cover it up with a lace front, and I'm not your lace front girl. So it's just like, I can give you some tips, but I already know that what I'm offering you, you don't want, because you want that quick fix, and I don't have a quick fix for you. Yeah. You need someone that's going to be in it. And I say that all the time. Like, you have to be devoted as a client. Just like I'm devoted to you, you have to be devoted to your own self, especially because we're not in that space together, right? We talk about like services that we have, and I don't want to be hands-on. I don't want to do that. So I don't have a space, right? And it's like, okay, if we're going to do this from afar, we're meeting, you're going to listen to me, I'm listening to you, we'll alter. But if you tell me, okay, but I want to get this lace frontal and we're trying to work on your edges, it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
And you know what's really good about like what you're saying is that you are exemplifying to those that are watching that knowing yourself is a key to great results in having a trichology business, whether it's on like one-on-one, like with your hands on, or you are online. Like, you have to know like what your thing is, because if you don't love it, you could sink into the, oh, you know, people don't listen and they don't want this and they don't want that. And it's like, you don't have time for that. You didn't spend all that money in, you know, trichology school and clinicals and traveling and classes and all that other stuff just for you to hate it and not at least make your money back from what you paid.
Thank you.
For in school.
And this is the thing, when you say that, like, I think about boundaries, right? Because you have to have personal boundaries and you have to have business boundaries. You just have to know, like, not every client is for you. And that's okay. Because when you try to take everybody in, that's when you start to hate it. It's just like, I don't want to do this. Like, if I know that I have to get on a call with someone that is suffering from traction alopecia and they don't want to change their hairstyles, they don't want to take care, they don't want to wash their hair as frequent, I'm beginning to hate my job, because it's like, you're not getting your results. You're getting upset. Now we're both frustrated, because I know if you would just listen, we would get somewhere. So you have to know when to say, okay, no, this isn't for me. I'm going to walk away. I need to pivot. Because the thing about it, and everyone says this, right? Trichology is not regulated. So it's not like, we're not doctors, right? We say this all the time. No matter how much people want to act like doctors, we're not doctors.
Right.
We don't have to take a client, right? And even doctors, they have their specialties. And you just have to find that specialty. And I feel like when you find your specialty, that's when you thrive. That's when your numbers start to be where you want them to be. And that's another thing. You need to know your numbers. You need to know what you want to make. Because when you know what you want to make, then you know how to work your services.
Yes, especially like pricing and taking whomever and not saying, you know, I think like when I first started, I don't know, I was short of standing on the corner saying, I grow hair. Do you hear me? I grow hair, because I wanted everybody to come to me and just believe that I was the trichologist, not even understanding what it was. So now being at this point where I'm like, yeah, I don't do that, I don't do this, but I can help you with this. Mm-hmm. And so I think that all of those things are like really, really important. So my next question for you is, what's next for you? What's next for Main Theory? What's going on?
So going back to what I said about like knowing my numbers and knowing like what it is that I want to do, I think for me, I'm going to continue to be virtual. That's just I love it. It's not something that I want to change, especially because I do have a little one, and being at home with her, like working my 9 to 5 from home, being able to fit my clients in at home, it works for me. But I'm really tapping into that the wig business, and I'm learning how to ventilate. I'm learning how to make caps like specifically for my clients. So this is not taking a cap and altering the measurements. This is starting from scratch.
Yes.
And bringing that out to my clients, making sure it like fits them. And that, like I told you, we had these conversations offline, but like, you know, when I want to be in a space, there's ways for me to be in a space, and
Right.
I'll take those opportunities where they come. And I'm also consulting, so consulting businesses and helping them, because my 9 to 5 I do work in human resources, so I really have a lot of business mindset that I can give to other businesses. So that being said, it's really just branching out, marketing myself, what we talked about all the time, and just being the best person in my lane that I can be.
Absolutely. And I think that I don't know, I don't want to speak for you, but I do believe that having that trichology knowledge has enhanced you stepping into your wig artesian
Yes.
place,
Yes.
you know, where
You
you're
know,
able to do those things.
yeah, absolutely. Because, you know, before I didn't really, I don't want to say I didn't care about like the caps itself, but it was just like, okay, we got a mesh dome cap. We're going to sew this bad boy together. But that's not what it is anymore, right? Like I'm meeting people that are suffering from hair loss. So I need to know what material, what lace I need to use from them.
That's good.
Maybe we're not using lace. Maybe we're using something else. And these things are all taken into account. So even when I'm creating a custom wig, it's still a consultation. I need to hear about your scalp problems. I need to hear about your hair. I need to hear that this client is getting ready to start chemotherapy, because now we have to alter that. We need to make sure that the wig, the cap can fit if their hair grows back or if it doesn't grow back. So, you know, trichology definitely helped me in that sense of like being open-minded, not just being just a wig maker. You know, like you said, there's bigger things out there. Helping my clients with the products. Okay, you're gonna take your wig off, you're gonna wash your hair with these 3 products.
Right.
These are things that I learned because I went through Trichology Now Online University. Now, yes, I did go through a program. I went through WTS and I learned a lot. But it was that we talk about being a bridge, right? And you were that bridge that helped me to say, okay, this is what I learned and this is how I'm going to implement it. Because a lot of people, when you go through programs, you learn how to be hands-on. But having you as a mentor showed me I don't have to be hands-on. My business can be successful doing these things from my house.
And you really like exemplified that. I think that is so exciting because you know, you hear trichology, you see the lab coat, you get a photo shoot, the certificate, and it's like, this is a trichologist and that's it. And I always say, I don't care who you like and who you think is great. You don't have to do that exact thing. And it may take you a few rounds of taking stuff out and doing this. And you may change your image a few times, but it won't take as long as you think it will. So you just kind of like got to get started. Liata, tell us where to reach you. I'm going to put your website on the screen, but tell us the different ways we can reach you and all that good stuff.
So my website is there, maintheory.co. My Instagram is the same, maintheory.co. Email is hello@maintheory.co.
All right. And you guys make sure that you are following Liata on Instagram and Facebook and go to her website. She has amazing things. If you need a consultation, she is more than able to do that. Share this with your cousin in North Carolina. Share this with your cousin in California. She is absolutely amazing from the couch. All right. So we are super excited about Liata, Main Theory. And just to, I find that it was a pleasure to have you in the classes, in case studies, you know, throughout like our powwows and just talking about the bigger scope of trichology, what it looks like, what it should be, and how you literally can change the face of it like you're doing it working your corner.
Yes. And I do have to say this before we go. Having you as a mentor was definitely monumental, and it was life changing for me because I gave up on what I truly loved, and that was hair. I've loved hair from the time I was a kid, and having you come in and say, you don't have to stop what you're doing. Let's just add this. What about this? And every time I say something to you, you would give me 3 other ways that I can do it. So having you in my corner definitely helped me to know that the sky was the limit, that trichology is easy. We're not just saying it. It is easy, okay? It is easy to do. And I thank you for everything.
Well, thank you for letting me do my thing with you. All right, y'all. So listen, Trichology 911 University, absolutely open, ain't closing. We are doing the push challenge right now. It just started yesterday. So if you want to jump in there, go ahead and you can do that. Also, mentorship is enrolling soon and all that good stuff. So I can't wait to see you guys again for the Trichology 911 business check-in. We have some more amazing interviews coming up, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great day. Happy hair growing.